Hello, I'm Alfred Bundy. Welcome to this special edition of Meet the Leaders. We're here in Atlantic City at the 103rd League of Municipality Convention. My special guest is State Senator Bob Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Pretty good, Bob. Tell us a little bit about your district.
Well, I'm in the dead center of the state. It's the 17th legislative district. It has a good portion of Middlesex County and a little bit of Somerset County, where New Brunswick, Piscataway, and a number of other wonderful towns are in it. We're the home of Rutgers University. We're the home of Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas.
Home of Middlesex Community College?
The county college is actually in Edison.
Get out of here. That's not in the district.
It's not in the district, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's a wonderful, wonderful college. And we have a lot of wonderful high-tech industry, good jobs. I'd like a little less traffic, but other than that, it's a great place to live and work.
What can we do to bring more companies to New Jersey so that we can get more great jobs here? What can we do?
Well, I don't think we leverage our universities enough, if you want to know the truth. When you look at some of the other success stories around the country, whether it's up in the Massachusetts area where you have the biotech capital of the world, or Silicon Valley in California where you have the data capital of the world, you've seen a partnership between the universities, government, and the private sector. And we really need more of those P3 kinds of partnerships because we have great universities and we will produce students with unbelievable skills and talents and knowledge. We have a college program called Big Data, for example, which nobody knows about, but it's one of the most intriguing new data facilities in the world. And we also have, the teaching hospital, Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas, in conjunction with Rutgers. We have a brand new medical hospital, teaching center. So it's there, and we just have to find a way to leverage it.
We need to leverage that a little bit more. The governor actually has started, for those who have incomes less than $45,000, some called the College Opportunity Grants, which will give money for students to go to community colleges free if they're below that ceiling. What's your feeling about this new project?
Well, number one, I'll tell you my prejudice. I used to be a college teacher. All right, and I saw, at Middlesex County College, and I saw the impact of what that college education had on my students. It made their lives better, the lives of their families better. They could get better jobs, move up, try something new. So I think that the colleges, especially the community colleges, are the source of the economic revolution of New Jersey. We need to be doing more investing in our students, so I'm absolutely in favor of that program. And as a matter of fact, we have other good programs that help students as well, but another initiative would be great. We just have to make sure we get the money to make it happen.
Gotcha. Opioid crisis, very serious all over the nation, but especially here in New Jersey. Numbers are now up to like 6,000 people have been gone or died from this crisis. What can the state do to deal with this issue?
Well, I'll tell you what we can do better. We do not have enough drug treatment addiction ending programs in this state. And I think that's in the process of changing.
And let's help people out now. One time we talked about methadone clinics. People knew what that was. That was kind of a way to help people get off certain types of drugs. Is that the type of idea you're suggesting now?
Yes, absolutely. And we have to have a more informed medical community and a more informed citizenry, because these drugs are so addictive. After 4 or 5 pills, you're hooked. So better education, more treatment facilities. We may have to make sure the insurance companies are doing the right thing as well. They get a piece of this. And some of the drug companies, quite frankly, there's now an initiative, there's litigation going on where the Attorney General is going after some of our drug companies for positioning these drugs in the wrong way with the public. And I think examples have to be set, because it's bad enough when you have drug dealers trying to promote drugs that are going to hook people, but we shouldn't have our corporate community doing it. So you add all those up, put more resources into drug treatment and rehabilitation, and we can do a better job.
Speaking of health care, there's concern about making health care affordable and accessible to everyone. What's your thoughts about this?
Well, number one, I think New Jersey, even under the former governor, who I was not a big fan did a number of the right things with regard to health care. Most Republican governors opted away from certain aspects of the Affordable Care Act. In New Jersey, we opted in, and that has helped put another 400,000 to 500,000 people in New Jersey in a position where they now have health care available to them. Good thing. And now that we have 11 Democratic congressmen, I think we're going to stop the efforts of the Trump administration to explode Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act, and especially the pre-existing conditions situation. So I'm more hopeful than I was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was really, I was under the bed hiding because of what I was afraid the new president and the Congress would do.
Let's talk just a little bit about the midterm election. We saw a women's wave, or the pink wave, but we also saw, we weren't sure at first, but we definitely saw a blue wave. And what does that represent?
It represents the country's view that the current administration is not doing the job. And I don't want to be more aggressively critical. Everybody who's in your listening audience knows exactly what I'm talking about. And you had very mixed messages from the Republican Party. Republican Party said, oh, we've changed our mind, we want to protect pre-existing conditions, but at the same time, they had the Justice Department suing, and the Attorney Generals suing all over the country, trying to, again, kill the Affordable Care Act and the provision for existing conditions. We had one congressman in New Jersey lose his seat over that, and that was the MacArthur-Kim race. MacArthur came up with the amendment that, quote, allowed existing conditions to be covered, but the way he allowed it to be covered was to say that the insurance companies could charge anything for that option, which means you're not covered at all. You have to put $100,000 into an insurance policy.
That's right.
That's not going to work. That issue is what defeated it in a district that was heavily Republican. And I think it also turned the tide in these other three districts where Democrats took what were traditionally Republican seats. That's for New Jersey. I think it had a big impact across the country, too. And in fact, if you listen to the talking heads on MSNBC or CNN or even Fox, they kind of candidly admit that one of the things that helped the Democrats win the congressional elections, they stayed on message. Their message was health care, and we're going to see to it that, or we're going to try our best to see to it that existing conditions are covered.
That's right.
And I think that made the difference in the election again.
We are out of time.
Okay.
I heard that he could talk about almost anything, including the Constitution, anything else his wife needs answers for. But
My wife needs answers for everything.
Oh, she needs wife. That's on. He recorded that. That's on tape. Listen, we've enjoyed talking to State Senator Bob Smith here at the 103rd League of Municipality Convention in Atlantic City. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.